Hey y'all, at the time this video goes up, I should still be on vacation for a few more days. So while I'm very likely passed out for one reason or another on a beach somewhere, why don't we talk real quick about Adept Weapons in D2. I hear so often from people in Twitch chat, Twitter, or wherever that they've flat out never gone after certain weapons in the game before because they will never ever go flawless, or that they hate GM Nightfalls. Basically what they're saying is they're not going after even the normal version of the weapon, they're just assuming that only the Adept version of the gun would be worth their time, and because they can't get the Adept version, they've decided to simply not go after the base version of the gun at all, which is crazy to me. Today we are going to go over 3 good weapons in particular that I literally don't care at all if they are Adept or not, and talk about why average Joe Johnny Dayjob really shouldn't give a shit either. Okay, for the record, I think with enough time and practice, a lot of players out there could get the Adept versions of their favorite weapons, but if you don't want to put in the time and effort, again, that is fine. For so many of these weapons, the regular version is almost indiscernible to the naked eye. If you want to be a ball breaker, yeah, Adept Weapons technically are, quote, better on paper, but I mean, come on. Here I have 2 messenger pulse rifles, one regular and one Adept. Each one has small bore in column 1, light mag in column 2, and a range masterwork. Fully masterworked, you'll notice the Adept does have a smidge better base stats in the stability, handling, and range department. While I will take any teeny tiny extra weapon boost Bungie wants to give me, at the end of the day, they are teeny tiny. Those tiny little bumps aren't going to make or break your performance in PvE or PvP. Now, the other side of the Adept coin is admittedly a slightly different situation. Adept weapons have access to more weapon mods than their regular counterparts. However, not every Adept weapon in the game, at least to me, requires the use of an Adept weapon mod. Some of them are nice to have as flexible options for sure, but I'm going to give you 3 examples of weapons that, Adept or not, I would continue to use non-Adept mods on those weapons. First up, we have one I've already mentioned, the Messenger Pulse Rifle. While you do have the option to use either Adept Range or Adept Stability as a weapon mod if the weapon were Adept, I use regular counterbalance on almost every messenger I've ever used in PvP, whether the gun is Adept or not. The default recoil direction on the messenger is 60, meaning that if not tinkered with at all, your shots are gonna naturally kick off to the right when you fire the gun. The regular counterbalance mod offers plus 15 recoil direction, which takes the messenger to a fairly consistent 75, which is fine for me. Now, technically, if you had a messenger with arrowhead break, that would take the recoil to 90, which would still tend to kick a little bit to the left, albeit less so, but then you would miss out on barrel options that would improve your range or stability by a decent amount. Again, 99 times out of 100, I usually just go for counterbalance. And while if you have an Adept messenger, you could go for Adept counterbalance, that actively harms your range by 10, which, no, I'm good, bro. I'm just gonna keep using the regular version. Next example, the Astral Horizon shotgun. Even though Adept Astral has the option to roll with things like Adept Range or Adept Handling, on almost every shotgun I use and bring into PvP, Adept or otherwise, I, like many people, use Quick Access Sling, a damn consistent and rock solid weapon mod for shotgunning people in Crucible. Granted, I haven't used my Adept Astral in a minute due to the fact that I have a crafted Imperial Decree and I didn't have to go into trials at all to get it. The point still stands. Even if this Imperial Decree were Adept or a future sick cash money Adept shotgun came into the game, I would still use Quick Access Sling. How about a PvE example? The Cataphract GL3 grenade launcher. Now, knowing my luck, this will probably drop in trials the weekend I'm out of town, knock on wood, but the role I'm going after is Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch. Original, I know. Now, while I'm going to be going for the Adept role, that is because I'm a sick weirdo who plays trials normally for fun. If, while playing trials though, I don't get the Adept version of the gun that I want and only got the normal one to drop, that would be fine. Reason being, I could just slap a major or boss spec mod on the grenade launcher depending on what activity I'm going to go into. If I get the Adept Cataphract, I will undoubtedly put an Adept Big One's weapon mod on it, which gives an extra 7.7% damage on the weapon. However, Adept Big One's doesn't do more damage than either boss or major spec. Each of those weapon mods also does 7.7% extra damage. The only difference is that Adept Big Ones covers all the bases of both major Major and Boss spec together under one umbrella. But at the end of the day, if your goal is to just have a grenade launcher capable of dealing awesome raid or dungeon boss DPS, your Cataphract with Boss spec is getting the same 7.7% extra damage as Adept big ones. Yeah, the big ones will be able to hit Majors and Champions harder, but should that be a driving force in you not getting the gun to begin with? F no. And by the way, Bungie recently made a change that would make it so weapons would drop in trials more frequently, so even if you go in with the goal of not going flawless, there's still loot to be had. And this matchmaking is more generous for solo and duo players now than it literally ever has been in the history of the game. So truly, don't ever let another player give you a rough time for having a normal version of the gun and not an Adept. So much of the time, it just makes the most minimal difference. And as Abraham Lincoln famously said, quit being a bitch. It's fine if your gun isn't Adept. Look that up. Back from vacation soon. Looking forward to streaming. See y'all next time.